What are...
My epiglottis. Alright, that's the intro. So what I'm saying is I should go off my meds
No,
and get back into that state.
I don't condone this.
Welcome back.
Shout out God, shout out Jesus.
Deep level.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular with Eddie and Tommy.
We're good.
Your epiglottis.
Welcome back to the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular with Eddie and Tommy. I'm Eddie.
I'm Tommy.
And today we have no plan because, you know, that's what we did last week. It didn't go very well, but we're just going to keep going with that.
Dude. That's right.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I lived in Ohio.
Making it too obvious. So yeah, it's the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular. I already said that.
Like shit.
Fucking this week we're sponsored by what's something bad? The NRA. We are sponsored by the NRA. I love guns. Guns. Go to your local Dick's Sporting Goods. Actually, no, don't go to your. Do you know they don't sell big guns at Dick's Sporting Goods anymore?
They used to sell guns at Dick's?
I mean, they still sell
Never
guns.
knew that.
They still sell guns at Dick's.
I think you should sell huge guns. They're fucking fun.
Okay.
Okay.
I was trying to signal to Bobby. Oh, fuck. I just gave it up. Hey, throw the intro thing I told you to throw in.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular with...
Hey, guys, welcome back. Tommy ditched us. So this week we have Bobby on.
Is fucking Bobby, hey.
Best producer in the world. Fucking sometimes when things hit the fan, or when shit hits the fan, you just gotta fucking roll with the punches. So this week, Bobby's on. He's filling in for Tommy. It's gonna be great. It's the Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular with Eddie and Bobby.
This podcast sucks.
All right, cool. Can you not hit the desk as much as possible, just because it's picking up on the mic? So yeah.
Last week, Eddie said, like, he was getting so fucking mad. Like, it was his show and everything.
Okay.
So, like, you're really gonna, like, do that right now?
No. I'm not saying. Okay, here's the thing. We'll get back to Dick's in a second. Let's air out our grievances right now. So what I said last week is that no, like, you can speak, like, it's your thing. Like, it's just weird that I got kicked out of my own podcast. When your name's in the title, it's weird if you get kicked out.
All right, I agree. What do you want to talk about today, man?
All right, so Dick's Sporting Goods, they still sell guns. You didn't know they sell guns?
I did not know they sell guns.
They have, like, pistols, and I don't know if they still sell, like, hunting rifles, like bolt action.
You ever shot a gun?
Yeah, I've shot a lot of guns.
Really?
Yeah.
What have you shot? How's it feel?
Let me continue on my train of thought here. But yeah, they used to sell, like, automatic rifles and stuff like that too, like the big boy guns. And I don't know why I called them big boy. I don't think it makes your dick any bigger. If anything, if you have like a really trigger happy gun or whatever you call it, like a one of those automatic guns, it probably means you have a smaller penis. You know what? Actually, no. Caitlin Bennett has proved that if you have a lot of guns and you carry them around, that you have a very huge dick. And that's probably why that guy who she's getting married to that I didn't know about, and I'm really upset that that's happening because it's not me.
Oh, God, I thought you meant she had a huge dick.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously she probably has a huge dick. But her fiance, that's what it's called, he probably has a huge fucking...
How old is she?
22, maybe?
That's pretty crazy.
22,
I would
23.
want to get married in 2 years. That's insane.
Nope, cut that out. We don't give our age out.
No, I do.
Okay. Bobby's young.
I don't give a fuck. What are you talking about?
So...
Oh, shit. You're
definitely
different.
bleep that one out.
Okay.
So...
Okay. I should.
Having a big gun means that you have a big dick. It's kind of the same thing about having, like, a big truck or a loud car. But, yeah, so Dick's used to sell those big guns.
I have a question about, that car
They don't
thing.
anymore.
Okay, so, like, when somebody rolls by, and it's usually really cool people that get a lot of hot chicks.
Yeah.
They have this thing that I've heard, it's called, like, bass on their car. Or, like, it shakes the ground.
Bass? You just bass. You mean bass?
Bass.
Like
bass,
B-A-S-S,
bass.
like a fish?
Yeah, bass. It's like a huge, bass. It's a kind of like a wave, like a wave that like
bass.
vibrates.
Yeah, that's bass.
Yeah, bass. Yeah. Like, I don't know what
like
is
a
what
low
is
pass,
bass?
like it's something low. It's a bass.
I feel like it's like low.
Like if we're talking filters here, like
Right.
if you're like a low pass filter, you know what I'm talking about there? You let the low
like
frequencies
like
in, like that's
bass.
bass. You let the bass in,
like bad.
like rumbles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's bass.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, and like if I have it, like can I like it? Cool. I'm not trying to like be a bit or anything right now. Like I obviously like know like music. Like there's music, right? Like I'm not like dumb as fuck.
Yeah, you made the music for this show.
Yeah, you know, right? But like,
yeah.
I feel like it just doesn't have a lot of best to it, you know? Like, I don't understand like when like because they'll have it like on the street.
I don't even know where you want me to go with this. Like, were you going somewhere with this whole story?
Okay, bring it back. I really wanted to fucking ask you before though. Have you ever shot a gun, and how does it feel to shoot a gun? Like, does
Shooting?
it feel good?
Okay, here's the thing. So guns are scary, and there should definitely be restrictions and stuff. And there's like a mass shooting every day. I think a cop just got shot the other day. Dude, we have fucking stories to talk about with crime around these parts right now.
My God.
But yeah, so like I feel like there's a mass shooting every other day, and it's out of control, and we need to stop it. But at the same time, I've shot guns before. Holy shit, it's so much fun. It's like one of the best feelings ever. I don't know why. Just shooting, it feels powerful. It's super satisfying. Like when you shoot a target or make something explode like that. Like my favorite thing to do is clay pigeon shitting, and
Shit and fart.
yeah, bread and
Tommy.
butter. I'm Tommy fucking. I drink Snapple.
Wait, Tommy drinks Snapple?
Yeah, he drinks a lot of Snapple. But yeah, so the way clay pigeon shooting works is that's the type where you have a shotgun and then you hurl that like clay disc and then you go like bowl and then you shoot it.
Bowl.
That's super fun.
You go, water!
But yeah, that's super fun. You feel super powerful, and I don't know why, because that's not a natural thing, right? Like that's not. I don't know why, as a human being, my
we don't have
brain-
like guns in our bodies. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Like, I can understand why someone feels super powerful when they hit a home run or, like, slam dunk or score a touchdown, because that's, like, physical ability. Like, you hit that ball with your bat as hard as you swung that, and then it went, like, 350 feet out of the park.
Yeah.
Or, like, you jump so high that you can dunk at 10 feet. Or you plow over a guy
I
and
guess
knock
it makes
someone
sense.
out. That's, like, a physical feat. Like, that should give you
I see your
dopamine.
point.
But, like, a gun... That's like a
I
man-made
think
thing.
even
You
more.
pull
It's just like the output of how much force you can exert on the fucking thing.
on something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a male thing. That wouldn't explain why Caitlin Bennett loves shooting guns so much. But
No, that is
Actually-
universal for everyone, man.
I don't know if she likes shooting guns. Maybe she just likes carrying them around like jewelry. Because that seems to be her problem. I mean, she just kind
Very
of...
good. That's very good. That might be something.
She has nothing against people not shooting guns. She's never said that. What if we reworded it like that to the NRA, where we're like, hey, what if we don't shoot the guns? What if ammo just wasn't a thing? Like, you can walk around with your fucking AR-15 all you want and wear it like a fucking chain. I don't give a shit.
Dude.
Bring it into schools. Yeah, give a toddler a gun. I don't care. As long as it doesn't have something to shoot. Like, there's no projectile coming out of the base of it or the.
You're right. It seems to give them strength if they hold it as well, you know?
Yeah. It's like a safety blanket for them. I think I just solved racism. I don't know what I just did, but I think I just solved racism. Okay.
We'll go with it.
It's fine. I don't even know where we started with this conversation.
You said it was powerful to like shoot a gun and it felt good.
No, I just think it's weird because I love it. I haven't done it in a while.
Would you get a gun in the future when you have a home?
No. I don't want to own a gun. If I owned a gun,
Dude, I feel like if you got robbed once and then later on you had kids, like you'd fucking want to do as much as you could. Like,
okay,
that's
yeah,
a
but
hard
that's not a
thing.
thing. Like, I would get a security system or live close to a police station. Like, I think there's or get a bat. Like, you could defend yourself with a bat.
But they have a gun.
I'm not that concerned about. Maybe it's because I'm fucking like clueless, and I've never had a break-in and stuff like that. But like,
It's hard to tell, yeah. I've never had a break-in.
I don't think I would be able to function if I was dead asleep and someone came into my room. I don't think I would have the capacity to like reach into my drawer, load a gun, cock it, take the safety off, and aim and shoot at a person fast enough.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Unless
like,
I literally
obviously-
had it in my hand, Like while I'm sleeping, every night before I go to bed,
Well,
I tape the magazine to one hand and then I tape the gun to the other.
The situation is if you have a security system that you said you had and you know a burglar's downstairs and you want to prepare, that's a way to
How
get it out
often
of your
do
house.
burglars come into your house at night, though? Like, no one does that. That's like some serial killer shit.
I mean, like, obviously until it happens. Like, the
That
security
doesn't happen,
industry,
though.
But the
People-
security industry is huge on the assumption that you can. Like, it happens, dude. There's break-ins, you know? I mean,
Yeah, they say that, like there's like a break-in every 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think that's like gun-worthy break-ins even, but even a fraction of those, like, I think probably you have like a more than 10% chance of having one break-in in your life that a gun would help.
Yeah, but I feel like I won't be home when it happens.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like a 10% chance.
So I don't need a
that
gun
would
because
be-
I won't be there. The gun won't. The gun can't.
Yeah.
I'm better off having a dog. Get dogs. Adopt a dog today.
Nah, bro, my dog ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, but they might get scared from the bark or something.
Yeah, but then like I would not want to even be woken up if like I had a burglar and then they were just trying to. Take
They're
shit
not
in.
coming. What I'm saying, my argument is they're not coming in at night. No one does that. They would come in during the day while I'm at work, and then they would take shit, and then it's kind of like I have insurance. It's fine.
That's a majority.
I'm gonna say
And this is why
before.
I'm fucking harping you. I think you want a gun.
No, I don't. Like I said before,
I don't
If-
think that's pretty cool, man.
if I were to
Why do you
own-
want a gun, Eddie?
If I were to own a gun, I would probably do a thing where
I don't like how you're changing the subject.
This is an option,
this
too,
Is
like-
kind of freaky.
this is kind of an option that people have talked about for gun control, where they're like, yeah, you can own a gun, you can own as many guns as you want, but you have to keep it locked up at the range, and you can only use your gun when it's at the range.
Yeah, then I mean, like, that's also ignorant of why people want them because, like, they want it because it's dope, right? Like, they want it because of that feeling. Like, you don't have that much artillery if you don't think it's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same. Okay, it's like the same.
Well, a solution that doesn't take
You know,
into
people
consideration
who
the problem.
people who are like car nuts or like into motorcycles and stuff. It's the same thing. It's just
you can only
it's a
drive it
hobby.
around this one track. It's like, yeah, then
Yeah,
I don't
but
want to
it's-
buy that car.
No, but people do that.
Yeah.
People who are really into cars, like nice cars that are racing cars, they will buy a car that they cannot drive on the street, can't drive in the winter,
Yeah.
and they will only drive it once a year, twice a year on a track that they have to pay for like
That's
an
kind of
hour.
cool too because there are some cars that aren't street legal but you could drive in certain areas. Like that totally makes sense. That heavy artillery would be like locked
Yeah,
up. in that
you would think.
exact way.
You would think because these are like, death machines, but whatever. I don't care. I mean, I haven't been shot yet.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to give you fucking devil's advocate, bro. Like it's not just open and shut every time. you know?
Either way, Caitlin Bennett come on the show. Her boss, she tweeted out the other day. She works for InfoWars, and I told you that the other day, and you're like, what?
Yeah, dude, it was fucking.
She does. Apparently,
fucking do that.
she definitely works for InfoWars. She tweeted that Alex Jones was going on someone's podcast or something, and she's like, my boss is going to be on this show, and she
My
must be a
boss.
fan.
Wow.
My boss, Alex Jones, is going to be on. Man, imagine
Damn,
if Alex
that
Jones was your
close.
boss.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Sounding male.
Did you say you saw that interview with Joe Rogan when Alex Jones
Yeah.
had that Joe Rogan thing? You saw that shit?
I started watching it. I only started watching it because there's a viral video going around of the part where he calls himself retarded.
Yeah, I'm fucking retarded.
He's just like, here's the thing. He does that for like 5 minutes. I'm pretty retarded. Not that I don't want to use the R word there loosely. Quoting. I'm quoting there. The thing about him is when he's on camera, it's definitely a character. You can see this in like. I work. I don't know if I should say. Like, I don't know if I could get in trouble for saying this. I work for a radio station.
Yeah.
And there's a guy there who's a shock jock.
What's that?
So Howard Stern, he's so popular because he does things that are not really family friendly.
Okay.
Like that's the whole reason. The whole reason he went over to, so you know what like the difference between like AM, FM, and like satellite radio is.
Sure.
So like satellite radio is uncontrolled, but you have to since it's like a subscription service. It's like HBO or Showtime or pay to play kind of things where they have like titties on HBO and Showtime.
Oh yeah, titties.
You can do that and you can swear all you want because
Cool.
not everyone can see. You have to pay specifically to watch pay-per-view. Well, no, it's not pay-per-view, but
You know, yeah.
you know what I mean. You have to
Premium.
pay to watch it. So Sirius XM and like satellite radio in general is like that. You have to pay for the subscription service. So you're allowed to swear and you're allowed to like do things on it that you were not allowed to do on AM and FM radio.
For that.
No, the thing is because he used to be on AM FM. I don't remember which specifically he was on. He was probably on AM at the beginning and then switched over to FM when FM got popular. But he would do things where he would like bring in porn stars and stuff like, and he would push the boundaries of what you're allowed to do on the radio. Because the FCC is a real bitch about it. Like you get fined thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, if you swear and stuff like that. So he would push the line. That's the whole thing of being a shock jock. So you say things that are ridiculous. It's a little bit kind of like what we do on this show, where we just say stupid shit. We don't do it at a certain level, like where it's just like we're saying outlandish things that people just disagree with. It's funny. It's funny to hear people say stupid. We have one in Cleveland. His name's Rover. There's one here. Good shows. Like they're very entertaining shows, but they're shock jocks. And that's kind of what I think Alex Jones is, except on a higher level. So he's like, sense. He's this guy that's
might
just
tap
saying,
into the thing that shock jocks are doing.
Yeah, he's like, tapping into people. Like he is more popular because there's one. First of all, his fan base is built off of, I would say, the majority of his fan base isn't because there's people who listen to him and go like, you know what? That's right. The people who do that are probably schizophrenic. Like they don't think right. The people who listen to him and agree with him because people who are on the left side and like super progressive and stuff like that, they hear what he has to say, these outlandish, super conservative values, and they go like, "What the fuck?" And then they retweet him and they call him out. And then people who are super conservative minded, they see that and they go like, "Oh, the libtards hate that guy." So then they listen and they.
Do you think he's just conservative? Because I think that he definitely attacks even big heads in conservative ways and hates them. I don't know Alex Jones actually. I've only heard like very little things.
I tried to watch an InfoWars episode once. It's hard. Like it's. I'm not.
Well, I heard that he sells a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, that's why.
yeah.
He sells a bunch of like magic malarkey snake oil stuff. That's like
right, but like, does he
make your dick bigger?
But doesn't he attack like conservative heads just as much as liberal heads?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I would say no.
Yeah.
I would say that he probably attacks the left more. I would say like the progressive snowflakes, as they're called. I mean, not my terminology.
Snowflakes.
But yeah, he probably goes after them more to upset them, rile them up, get them retweeting his shit or, commenting or posting on it on Facebook. And then, because obviously the majority of people listening to him use Facebook because it's an awful, terrible fucking website and they're idiots and lizard brains.
Oh, true, dude. I don't use Facebook.
I don't use Facebook either because I am an intellectual.
I don't think it's just our demographic, man. Like, we are just, like, so done with Facebook. I remember I was, like, fucking wanting a Facebook when I was 13.
Yeah, I know. It was popping back then, but then I grew up and I realized that it sucks.
You think that's why?
I think I found Twitter and I was like, this is so much better. I think... Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing I think we should do. Next week, or whenever we have some free time, we have a week off coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe every day we should just try and watch one episode of InfoWars on YouTube.
I don't think
like sit down at night. Because we Zesh, we play Legend of Zelda every night together.
You guys.
What if we just threw up like in the middle of the like while we're playing?
That's a fun thought for the podcast, but like fuck no, like you know.
Let's throw on InfoWars. Let's just try it out. Let's see. There's the thing going around where so Facebook has a problem with having fake news. Big topic in today's day and age. So there's people who go through, and actually what's funny is since we had a couple Facebook ads go up for the podcast and they take it super seriously now. We got filtered into a fake news kind of thing where they're like, you can't post things because we mentioned Caitlyn Bennett. Man, we've mentioned her way too much on this podcast. We're really not fans, I swear to God.
No, we're fans. Shut up.
So
I am.
In the promo, it was the Ken Say Gun Girl song.
Yeah.
Since we mentioned her, and since she's such a high figure, not like political figure in any way whatsoever, but since she deals with politics, it got put into this thing where it's like you can't talk about politics on ads and stuff like that. Damn. So you have to do this verification process that shows that you're not like a Russian spy. So I had to go through this whole thing. Facebook knows my whole like fucking social security number and my phone number and like.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable.
So
with
we
that.
got into their fucking the breadth of them trying to fix the problems.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a little bit ridiculous, but the people who filter that, so the same person who listened to our Kent State Gun Girl song, congratulations, you heard a fucking Grammy nominated hit single.
Before we're Grammy nominated.
Before, yeah, before we were cool. This guy's actually a hipster. But the people that do that have to listen to all the fake news and like filter them out of the Facebook feeds, they start going crazy because they watch so much that they start believing the controversies. Oh, no. So there's people who are watching flat earth stuff that were totally like right-minded, did not think that the earth was flat or a disc or whatever. And then they had to watch all these fake news like videos about them, and they've gone crazy to the point where they're believing the things that they're getting told. So they're flat earthers.
I have so much fucking sympathy for people who are just fucking loco right now about this.
Because you theories. Watch Jordan Peterson. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, dude, I'm a cuck. Dude, I want to suck that old man dick so hard.
Dude. I don't get. Continue what you were saying.
No, I want to suck Jordan Peterson's dick. We can talk about this. Let's do it, dude.
But like, I feel like this is the same thing with Jordan Peterson,
like,
except he.
Talk like Kermit in my ear. Oh yeah.
Jordan Peterson is like, in my mind, he's the exact same thing that Alex Jones is, except he speaks better. Like he is actually an educated person, so he doesn't just go on and say like, oh, the frogs are gay. He'll go on and say the frogs are gay, but like say it eloquently, like aquatic animals that also live on land.
I wouldn't like tell you something I think is bullshit, man. And
become
like
homosexuals.
I wouldn't like really fucking like be swooped in. I want to give you one little preface. I got swooped into this
because you watched him on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's not making a podcast.
I got swooped into this day trading thing. There was this YouTube channel where it was.
We've all been there.
But it was a real like it was a higher level than like, you know, those multi-level marketing schemes like Herbalife and shit. Mm-hmm. Like those are some bullshit things that are like Alex Jones, like you say Jordan Peterson is that. But they're just lower level.
Different level. No.
Let me say what I'm going to say.
I don't think he's like a walking infomercial. If that's what you thought I meant, I don't think that. I think
there's things like Herbalife, and then there's guys that kind of take advantage of that same thing. And it's when normal people think that they could get really swooped in by The Secrets, or one person has all these fucking ideas that they just need to fucking find out about. Like BitConnect and that H3 video.
BitConnect!
Like, it's things like that like people just get... You know, they're not awake enough to, like, know what's actually going on, and they, like I said, just get swindled in and become a jackass for that thing. And Alex Jones is definitely a type like that. If I didn't think there was something underneath Peterson's thinking, like, there's definitely elements that he does. Like, if you follow him on Twitter, and there are definitely channels that praise him like that, man. And like I said, I got swooped into this day trading thing. It was pretty shitty. I felt so fucking bad about it. I made out a plan that I was going to save up the $1,500 for this day trading. This day trading program that this dude was selling. And then I was going to do that, and that was going to be how I like handle my money. Like, it was...
You're going to day trade. Become a billionaire.
Yeah. And this dude was going to tell me all the secrets, you know, the 4-step program. And I was like almost in it. Like, I was like saving up the money. I didn't spend anything, thank fucking God.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Because, dude, it takes like one Google search to fucking find out about these fucking guys. It's like, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But you just don't want to do that when you're in the middle of being swindled. So, my guy, like, there are YouTube channels right now, I think 1925, something like that. I don't know.
Is that the name of the channel?
Yeah, and then there's Rebel Wisdom that really talk about this guy in a video essay style way.
Oh my God! Okay. Now I have to disagree because the video essays are ridiculous in their own rights. But like, if you've ever watched,
they're on his dick like that, and
that's where you're going with it.
This is what I'm talking.
Can I explain? Let me.
David.
Hold on.
I got one more thing.
Wait. Hold on one second. Just let me.
No, I got one more point.
My podcast. My name's on the fucking podcast. Let me interject one. So if you don't know what a video essay is, it's these things on YouTube where they try to explain like why Louis C.K. is funny. Like they go into these ridiculous like spin zones or they try to like make everything into a science where they're like, you can see it's a 3-part process the way he does a joke because not to use Louis C.K. I mean, you could do this with every comedian. They go into this like 3-point process where he does this and then does this and then there's the punchline and then there's an after kick or whatever they call it. And it's ridiculous and it makes sense when you watch it, but then you kind of like listen to the comedians and then they're like, no, we just like make a joke and then we say the joke and then it's funny and then you work on the joke and that's it. There's no science behind it. It's just like, it's like the way you make music. Bobby is a music guy.
I make music.
He takes classes that are music based, and people who are in those classes are super pretentious. They try to like search for super deep meanings and like scientific little technical things that are ridiculous. And then Bobby's in the corner just like, I make good music because I like music and it sounds cool, and then it is good. Like that's all it takes.
Well, you rely on ecstatic experience rather than a formula.
Like you use the technical aspects, but you don't focus on those. Yeah, right. You don't focus on those because that's not what makes it good. What makes it good is your own little, like, oh, this sounds cool. I'm going to make it cool. So that's what video essays are. So continue.
That was a small point that I wanted to make, but it all ties back into, do you think I like Jordan Peterson and I'm getting swindled? Mm-hmm. Really simple. Okay.
But continue,
even
please.
If that's not it. Okay,
yes,
okay.
Please continue.
Very simply, I'm not like buying what he's selling, right?
I don't think he's selling anything. But
okay, but I'm not like, a part of his message, right?
Okay.
But like you take them as seriously as other things, right? And then it ends up working. So he like will have an interview with somebody and then he's just trying to like gain more knowledge about the thing.
Does he have a podcast?
Kind of, yeah. There was this dude named Howard Bloom, and if you haven't seen this fucking conversation, it'll change your fucking life if you're in the world of art, where this guy Howard Bloom, who, he's amazing, he went on Joe Rogan too, but crazy, ecstatic figure, and they were just pushing their knowledge on the subject, right? Mm-hmm. Me and my roommate David talk about...
My roommate too. Continue.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Eddie hates us because we talk about deep metaphysical fucking discussions.
We can get into that later, but like, go ahead.
But like, we talk in that realm a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even in that thing, right, it took David a long time to figure out what I'm actually doing with this fucking guy. And then one day we were like, he goes, I feel like that's what you're doing with Jordan Peterson. And I'm like, dude, I'm not buying his thing. Like, I'm not like looking up how to take his words into consideration and tie them back into things in my life and stuff, but look up the biggest figurehead that you can for a political argument. There's this guy named
Obama.
Michael Eric Dyson, right? He is a like preacher style darling of the left, right? And
I don't know who he is.
Peterson and Stephen Fry did a fucking debate with him, and he got absolutely
demolished.
Yeah. And it's not that, like, you get... Because people get enjoyment out of that. They, like, love to see...
Someone get fucking, like, wrecked.
Dude, Jordan Peterson wrecks libtard, right? But...
Well, it's the same thing, like, when LeBron fucking, like, pulverized someone. When he fucking dunks over someone. He, like... But that's a good feeling. You love watching that.
Don't think about... It's like, if I'm trying to be a basketball player, that's not the videos I watch of LeBron.
So you're not watching... You're watching his assists. Where he's, like, passing the ball really cool.
Well, no. I'm watching the good dunk, but, like...
You're watching his whole game.
Why he's doing the thing, right? I mean, like, I have a bunch of thoughts about me going to college, and there's a lot to fucking sift through. So if you can get any outside perspective and, search the chaotic realm that is the internet and what is popular out there,
okay,
then there are figures that you can tell address things that you're thinking and then have an opinion. And he has opinions on some things. But that doesn't mean I take his word for him. Like, I'll half the time agree with him because he's a clinical psychologist, but I'm not watching the Crush Libtard videos. And it's been a thing that Eddie says, well, he's just cashing in on that, right? We got drunk one night, we came back to the apartment, and that's exactly what we said. We were like, you think he's just cashing in on that anti-social justice warrior thought?
Because, yes, but I also don't remember this conversation.
Yeah, and he's definitely doing that. Like, his live shows are probably, and that does go unaddressed, I would say, a lot. And, like, before this, like, I don't have a political opinion, really.
Yeah.
I don't look at politics a lot. I think, like, by personality, I guess, I'm more liberal because I'm more, like...
Bobby did not
open.
vote.
Oh, yeah, because I don't fucking care. Fuck that.
I voted.
Why the fuck do you vote, dude?
I voted. I don't know. I don't even vote in the Illinois
Why do
election.
you think you should
but-
vote? I disagree with that.
I don't know. Everyone tells me I should.
Yeah.
Donald Trump got fucking elected. Best president ever. I mean, but, like, I don't know, man. Only best president because he's, making Space Force. But
Yeah, best president.
So what you're saying is you don't listen to Jordan Peterson because he destroys libtards and, like...
Oh, God. Dude, I'm so sorry if that's what you
What
thought,
you're saying...
dude.
No, I didn't think that.
That's some incel shit.
That's not what I thought. What I think is, like, he's an eloquent Alex Jones.
I don't think that at all.
He
He's really
says
not.
he takes a topic that's popular in the...
He was a professor
the
for
majority
10
of young-
years at U of T, dude.
Yeah, I know. And he's... And I mean, obviously, he's super affluent. He's very good at what he does. He's a smart man. No one's saying he's not.
He makes money, but, like...
No, I'm not. Just
He's
hear me
very-
out here, Bobby. Hear me out. You gotta hear me. It's give and take. It's like a good relationship. It's good. It's give and take.
You look really
gotta-
hot right now. Do you
No, it's
wanna
because we're
shut the
drinking.
podcast up?
It's-
Oh,
We're
okay.
drinking, so
Oh.
like, my face gets red.
No, but, like, hot, like, sexy. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I mean, thanks. You want to get... I mean...
Okay, we're back.
They're in a douche.
Yeah, I was good, yeah.
So Jordan Peterson, I think, is like Alex Jonas. Jonas. He's Joan-ish because he takes a... Being progressive or a liberal is a very popular thing among our generation. Very young people.
Yeah.
We think that way. And so he'll take these things that are super, and that's the majority of people using social media and, YouTube, stuff like that, that he's
The loudest
gaining
people
off of.
using them. Yes.
Yes. So what he does to get attention is takes every single thing that's popular among the majority, and then just goes against it. And he just finds a way to spin zone it every
In
time.
his worst moments, he does. But half of it is...
I'm sure he has interesting lectures about fucking social psychology, but no one's watching those.
Oh, my God, they are, though. Like, that is a large majority of what it is. Like...
It's like a bait and switch then. He's bait and switching.
You get drawn in by that
Because the
thing,
only
maybe?
reason I know of Jordan Peterson is because of his argument that he had with like a trans student at U of T, University of Toronto.
Yeah.
So,
And for all intents and purposes, like, people do that and they stay for that. But
so what I'm saying is not that
so you have a business, right? Do you stay with the business because of what they said on the poster? None of the time that you stay with any long
I have
business.
no idea what you're saying right now. To be honest, you just started saying, like, giving an example, and it just
you
did
don't
not click in my head.
you don't buy 5-star notebooks because you saw a commercial for 5-star and you're like, oh, I feel like a college kid in that commercial every time I use them. It's because they have good stuff, and some companies are shit stuff but have great commercials. That's Alex Jones. Some companies have good commercials because it's separate from their thing, but are also dope as fuck. Like, there is so much under the surface, like that world that me and David talk in. It's the same thing with Sam Harris. You know Sam Harris?
I have no idea who that is. I don't watch those.
There's a whole community of guys like this who are talking.
Fart porn. That's my demographic.
Oh, trust me, I watch fart porn too. My God, you don't have to tell me.
It's funny. It's funny.
I don't know what Tommy's all about with that
It's
stuff.
fucking funny. All
Let me
right.
tell you.
Whatever you were saying.
You are not getting any judgment here.
Okay, here. Let me just say, I think I think Jordan Peterson, it's not that I don't...
I can't believe that you're roping them together. Like, that's how they live in your mind.
Yes, that's how they live in my... I think they're just, like, shock jocks. I think Jordan Peterson is a shock jock of the psychological world, and he's messing with everyone's minds.
Well, then
I think
Alex Jones doesn't
I mean, it's like what Hitler did. But, well, I'm not calling him Hitler. But it's kind of like the same thing where it's like Hitler was a good leader because he could convince people to believe the things he was saying. Mm-hmm. That sounded really bad coming out of my mouth. I'm Jewish.
I'm not
that
judging.
Tasted bad coming out of my mouth.
I
I'm not a
understand.
Hitler sympathizer. I wrote a whole paper on it once in high school about why Hitler was a good leader, and then I had to like state in the front. You know what's funny? I wrote that while I was in France too. Like I was on a train in
What?
France, and I wrote a whole essay about why Hitler was a
I
good
keep
leader.
learning more and more about this story that you wrote about it.
But I only wrote that story saying that he was a good leader because he was He convinced an entire country that probably didn't hate Jews, that probably didn't believe in the whole...
Oh, they did, though. They wanted someone to blame for
Yeah.
terrible
But
situation.
he was the one that convinced them. So that's kind of what, like...
Well, yeah. He led to the most opportune moment. Right?
That's what Jordan Peterson does, I think. On a much lighter scale. I'm not saying that he wants to commit genocide.
I'll take it as the analogy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to... I'm not trying to... I'm not comparing him to Hitler.
I'm taking it as the analogy. I know you do.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
And then he uses the shock value to like bring people in, and that's what Alex Jones does. So I think, I'm not saying I disagree with everything they say, because on one hand, some things they're saying is outlandish and stupid, and I can agree that like it's just dumb. On the other hand, like on the other side, like the left side, there's some things where I'm like, this is just getting out of hand with the social justice warriors and the like all the everything. And
like separately, I have,
because we
like,
go to an art school. We go to an art
too.
school and we have those people.
Yeah.
And I was probably one of the most progressive people in my hometown back in Ohio.
I hate them just as much. Like I have 2 classes right now that are like darlings of the left and darlings of the right, but like have their ideals. So like the orderliness of conservatism and the chaoticness of the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like either of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I see Jordan Peterson as is,
A middle.
talking about, his actual lectures on people like Hitler and Stalin and exactly why they were bad. Like, I also think that Eddie, like, you just want to like chill, and like what he's talking about is like a totally non-chill subject matter. And like if it's not your thing, like I totally get that. And I don't want it to like affect our chill. But like I understand it's just not your interest. But like it totally helps if you have that interest, you know? Like
it's the same reason why okay, let me finish my thought that I had before you rudely interrupted me, you fuck. It's my podcast. What I was saying is that I'm probably one of the more liberal, more progressive people back in my hometown. When I moved out here to Illinois, that shit got flipped 180 degrees.
Totally
I'm probably more
same here,
middle
dude.
right
All throughout
sided
my school
compared to
rock
some
career, everything. I was very, very progressive. Because like in the suburbs, they're all conservative, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I can see both sides. So, I don't agree. I don't even know where we started with this conversation, but whatever. You said I'm chill. I am not. That's not what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve a level of confidence that is through the roof, that I can do whatever the fuck I want. And let me tell you a story about a man that has the most confidence that I've ever seen in the world.
Oh, I'm kind of intrigued right now. What are you going to say?
I was on the blue line the other day. I don't even know. I think I was going to work. So I was on the blue line. It was like 8 a.m.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A lot of people on the train. A homeless man sitting on the train. They tend to do that. It's warm in there. It's winter here in Chicago. It's cold. They'll die if they're outside.
I see.
So they're on the train. Dude stands up. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? This is weird. So he stood up on the train. He walked to the other end. Like, so there's 2 doors. The way, trains work is there's a door on one end and a door on the other end of the car, and you can walk in between each cars. You're not supposed to, but people do it all the time. They have a level of confidence that I also want. I'm not that at that level yet, but I'm getting there. He stood up on the train, walked to one end of the car, pulled his dick out, and peed on that door. He just peed right onto the floor.
Holy shit.
There was like 50 people in this car. No one batted an eye.
Oh my god.
You know why? Because he had so much confidence that he doesn't care if he's whipping his dick out on the train. He doesn't care if he's peeing on a door in front of people. There's 50 people looking at him right at that moment. No one said a thing. He just zipped his pants back up, walked back to his seat, and fell asleep again. I want that level of confidence. I want peeing on the L level confidence.
I don't think I can argue anything with that point, my guy.
Right?
That's fucking insane.
I'm working towards it.
That's exactly, you got that shit all figured
Guys,
out.
I'm going to someday come back to the podcast with a story about me peeing on the train. I'll probably get arrested because I look normal. Like, if you see a homeless guy do that, you're going to feel bad for him, so you're not going to say anything. But like, if you see a guy like me, where I kind of look like I know what I'm doing, like I'm conscious, and I just whip my dick out on a train, then people are going to be concerned. They're going to be like, what is this Ted Bundy, like, fucking bullshit? Like, get this guy into jail right now.
I saw a dude pissing in between train cars.
That's impressive. I think that's the more courteous way. Like, that would probably be the... So walking in between the trains, that's like level 1. That's what I need to get to. Pissing in between the train cars, where you're like in the median, because that's an outside part, and you're like, it's super dangerous. I don't know why people do this. But he stood in between the train cars, peed out onto the tracks while it was still going, and then went into the next train car. I just threw up a little.
And I assume that when his stream hit, the threshold of where the cars stopped, that the wind, like where you pick up, if you stuck your hand right there, that his stream just made a sharp 90-degree angle, like a motherfucking.
It does. Have you ever spit outside of a moving car?
Yeah, but that's right when it's in your face. He had like parts where the wind wasn't affecting him, and then it affected him.
That's level 2. Level 3 is literally just standing up and peeing on someone on their commute.
That's master level. A joke like that there was this just masturbator on the train. I think that
happens.
That does happen.
We've all been there. Not that we're like masturbating on the train, but like where we've seen it.
Yeah, we haven't been on both sides.
I love public transportation. I never thought I would say this, but like I love because you get a story out of it every week. I could come here every week and have a different L story. Like,
yeah, dude.
If I rode, because we don't ride the we used to live by the red line, so we'd take the red line everywhere. Now we live by the blue line. The blue line's like, I'm not gonna say nicer, but it is.
It's nicer.
It's nicer. So the red line gets all the crazies. It connects the south to the north, and the blue line goes east-west. So it's like it's a lot different. You still get a bunch of stories from the blue line, but the red line. If we lived on the red line, I would have a different CTA story every week on the podcast, guaranteed.
Anyone, dude. There's so much shit that happens.
Our roommate Tommy, coincidence, not related to Tommy of the show. He got. I told the story on the podcast where he got mugged for a piece of pizza. Yeah. That was on the red line.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! I haven't had many crazy run-ins with violence and stuff. I've seen people yelling on the street and getting really antagonistic with other people, but I'm like a street away. Oh, by the way, we didn't fucking talk about this, but there was this girl who faked a stabbing at our school.
Oh my God, yeah, we hinted at that earlier. So we get these every time that there's like a petty crime or like someone steals a phone from someone. We get like 13 alerts from our college, from like 13 different medians. Like we'll get 4 different emails on different accounts.
Yeah, email, phone call,
a text, a phone call. Yeah,
AOL, a direct message.
Yeah, and then they FaceTime you and it's weird, and then your mom calls you. But usually it's stuff like someone stole their purse, or like someone was seen jaywalking, or like some dude was peeing on the train and no one said anything.
Someone was seen jaywalking. But they must have a troubled family if they're jaywalking, committing crimes like.
I've seen cops tell people to like there was a bike cop, so I don't know if it really counts as a cop, but I saw a bike cop. It was actually a troop of bike cops. Oh my God. There was a guy who was about to jaywalk, saw the cops, stopped, and then the cops like stopped and they were like, just jaywalk, it's easier.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, okay, I see how it is.
Oh my gosh.
That's because if that was like if that was in the suburbs, they would fucking flip their shit. But since it's down here,
they definitely recognized.
They have to deal with real shit.
So much shit. Yeah, they have to deal with real shit.
They're like, I don't give a fuck if you're smoking weed. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they just fucking, I don't
care.
care.
Bored as shit, dude. Oh my God. But yeah, you were saying, fake stabbing.
Yeah, so we got this alert that it was pretty late at night. They were like, someone at 12 a.m. was walking near the certain building by Grant Park, and then this individual, they gave like the specifics about the individual, walked up behind her, grabbed her hair or something, or her back, her coat or something, and then asked for her purse. She wouldn't give it up, and then he stabbed her, took the thing, and then ran away. And I was like, holy shit. That is intense. That's the first time that's like actually
a little bit too. Like I don't know too much about that. Might be fake too, the reporting or whatnot. But that doesn't even seem like how I would stab somebody. I haven't stabbed that many people. But like, I assume I wouldn't like grab them, get their attention, and ask. Like I feel like I'd try to like swoop in and grab it quickly and then run.
Yeah.
Especially if they're like defenseless by themselves.
Were they holding the knife in one hand? Like were they expecting to? Expecting to stab maybe they didn't really care about it. They were just like a stabbing, like they're a connoisseur in the stabbing arts, and so they were like.
Yeah, there's the other element where they didn't expect to stab them first, but they had a knife and there was a tussle, so they wanted to just get away with it. Right?
I had the knife, so I mean, I was like, might as well.
But yeah, this bitch fucking faked it too.
Yeah, so we hear that, I'm like, holy shit! So I'm texting everyone I know who goes to our school, and I'm just making sure that everyone's okay. I was like, hey. heard
And
this
legitimately,
thing.
like, not joking.
Yeah, no, legitimately, I was like, hey, is everyone okay? Like,
I didn't know that at first, but you were like, dude, I was actually fucking worried about you guys, man.
I was, yeah, I guess that's a character flaw on my part, I guess. Where like
that you were swindled by it? Everyone was, dude. We all got the fucking alert.
I know, but like you thought I was joking. Like, why would I be joking about that?
Oh yeah, that. I mean, I guess kind of. Whatever.
Anyway, I texted everyone. No one really responded. It doesn't matter. So no one got stabbed. Then we get another email, like about halfway through the day. And actually, you know what? I was on my way to work, and I was on a bus, and I was passing ABC 7, which is like the local news here or whatever. But they have this thing on State Street. They have like a display and like that thing.
I was on that one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they have the newsroom, right?
Yeah.
You can see the people outside.
Yeah.
I was on that shit, dude.
So on State Street, they have like a newsroom that like tourists and people who are walking by. It's by the Chicago Theater. You can see it.
Can wave and you'll see
But they had the headlines above, and I was reading them because we were at a stop in traffic, and it was just like R. Kelly back in jail because he can't pay his child support. Which, by the way, we should talk about R. Kelly in a second.
Oh yes.
And then it went to the next one. It was like Columbia College student stabbed in. I was like, holy shit! It made like fucking Chicago news. This is wild. Probably shouldn't have been the reaction I had, but is what I had. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyway, we get an email about halfway through that day that was like, hey, it was from the security people. Only one email. Like, they didn't text us about call us about this one. They're like, hey, about that thing last night?
I'm just going to go.
Chicago police have gotten contact with us and reviewed all the footage from around that area. It seems that the victim, or the so-called victim, didn't exactly say the truth. So what we said is just ignore it. It's fine.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
And I was like, you have to have a real bad attention problem to fake a stab. Like,
yeah, dude.
my idea is either they either wanted attention or they did something stupid,
Or they were like,
that would get them in trouble, and they got hurt.
maybe it was like they were drunk and they pressed those security buttons. I'm very speculative right now, but they pressed those security buttons.
I'm sure they were hurt because they had to go to the hospital and get injuries. Like, they had injuries.
Like, how did that officially get reported?
So they had to have been doing something stupid where they got hurt, or they like deliberately stabbed themselves, which seems weird.
One of these,
For attention, and then, or they were doing something dumb and they didn't want to admit it. Either way, that's what happened. It was kind of just a weird story.
It's fucked up. Jesse Smollett goes to our school and fucking faked a stabbing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, keep your loved ones close. Keep your stabs.
You heard that Jesse Smollett situation though, right? You remember,
No.
You know the reference I'm fucking talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking
The
about.
Empire dude who faked fucking white supremacists.
That was weird too, because I heard about that before it happened. Because I'm not going to give any information that would compromise the situation, but I know someone who...
Oh, no, yeah. All liberals lie about that, right?
No.
I just
No. When that story broke, I know someone who works...
Yes. Oh,
for
my God.
CPD, and they told me that the story wasn't finished. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. And they're like, no, just trust me on this. Something's up with that. And I was like, okay. Went home. Literally the next day, it came out that it was fake. It was a fake hate crime. That was so weird.
Crazy.
I was like, my mind got blown up.
Yeah, man.
That was the first tip I ever got. I don't know why we didn't talk about it.
I don't know.
on the
There's
podcast.
like I haven't. That was probably the first high profile fucking case of something like that happening, right? Of a fake hate crime on the left too. Like, I'm pretty sure there's right people who have done that, but like
Not a great look. Not a great look.
Yeah, it's not giving you guys a good fucking.
What's his name? Something Somali? It's
Jesse Smollett.
Yeah.
No fucking. Theo
Picked up on the mic.
I picked it up. Theo Vaughn
Yeah.
tweeted out, Jesse Smollett got Atticus Finch to represent him in court.
Oh my god, he's a funny dude. I love Theo Vaughn.
Dude. He's crazy.
But that is weird.
Yeah, man.
That, like, I can't think. Was it an attention thing? Is he trying to use his platform to like push something?
Definitely. Like,
Is it because like I don't want to I feel like I don't want to speculate that he did this out of hate.
well, it's just like political fucking
means like that.
Dude, this is a lower level thing that we talk about sometimes, where it's so cool to like flex your moral superiority on people on either side, right?
Yeah.
This is just a total extension of
Yeah, but fake hate crimes, that's wild. That's wild.
That's fucking.
That's all I gotta say about that. Also, Empire, not a good look for the show. They cut his. He was supposed to have like a higher. His character in the show was supposed to have. If you haven't heard about this story, I don't know how you would have heard about the story, but this is a guy who's on the show Empire, which is shot here in Chicago, and he faked a hate crime where he like put a noose around his neck and got bleach thrown on him, which is weird because like why would they want to make him? Why would white supremacists want to make a black person white?
Yeah, man. Like. They were just like...
Now that I think about it, that seems weird.
They were like, yeah, that's the white guy. That was the black guy that's now white.
And I hate this because it's like, this really doesn't help the situation at all. This just gives like Alex Jones people fucking power.
Oh, fucking reason to fucking...
It just gives them more reason. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah, man, it's fucked. Big fucked.
Anyway. I want to talk about people who pretend like conversion vans are...
Like conversion van.
They take like a camper van or like one of those U-Haul vans, and then they turn it into like a bed, like a living space, and they live out of it. I'm doing air quotes. You can't see it because this is an audio podcast, but they live out of it, and it's for travel purposes, and it's cheaper than rent. I'm like, it cannot cost, like if you have 4 roommates or if you have 3 roommates, it's going to cost you like $500 to $700 a month at the most here in Chicago. Pretty expensive, Mark. Well, it can be expensive. It does not cost you that much to like live.
Yeah.
Like it costs you way more to keep up on like gas and fucking like keeping you have to buy all this stuff. Exactly. So that people are pretending like they actually live in these conversion vans. Don't fucking buy into it. This is just like a thing that like
I haven't seen this.
Like serial killers are like really in right now in true crime. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. This is another thing where they're just playing into like one person was like, I live in a van, or like I traveled fucking 21 years up the north to south.
Tiny house trend. But
it's the exact same thing. So it's a trend, and people pretend like they're doing it. Don't fucking buy into it. This is bullshit. No one can live in those fucking situations unless they're goddamn crazy. Where it's like a smaller than twin-sized bed mattress in a minivan. They don't have a sink. All of their electricity comes from a diesel fuel gas thing. I've watched like 13 of these videos. When I go down my YouTube rabbit hole, I always end up at like a conversion van thing. I don't know why. It's bullshit. Don't believe it. They're probably like lying. They just drive that around to like pretend like they're interesting and then make money off of their YouTube videos. Yeah. So don't believe it. If you're hearing
about it, it's probably just to seem interesting.
It's fake. It's fake. Don't buy into it. Don't move into a conversion van. Buy a house, buy an apartment, be a normal person. EPS standards. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about before we end the show.
What do you want to talk about?
I wrote it down. Let me check. Oh, Workmans Comp.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Go. You start this. Like, explain your... Okay, so we call...
I had my last day of Nine-Finger-Diddler therapy today.
Yeah, so we call Bobby the Nine-Finger-Diddler because he fucked his finger up. If you haven't seen the picture, go to Twitter or something. I'm sure it's up there. His finger is completely fucked. It's like his... Which hand is it?
Left index.
Your left hand index finger... imagine a normal one, and then imagine that normal finger, but it's kind of like the tip of it down to like mostly the tip now.
Just
it's
the
just
tip
like,
of it is like curved. I think it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah, it was really fucked.
It's like if you had your hand out like flat too, like just like tilted too. It's not even like it's not like bent 30 degrees. It's bent a little bit, but it's just like leaning.
It looks fucked. It still looks fucked.
Yeah.
So. You got that because you accidentally shoved your hand into... I still don't understand how this happened, but like, I agree, this happened. He has the evidence. He shoved his hand... Tell me when I'm wrong. He deliberately shoved his hand into a cheese shredder at a pizza parlor.
Just mainly to get to the insurance money. I want that on record, by the way, just in case we need to go to court. That, this is totally fucking...
I was texting Tommy the other day where we made the joke on the podcast, I think either last week or 2 weeks ago, about Abducted in Plain Sight, where the guy was talking to his... the abductor was talking to the dad, one of the worst dads in the world, where he was just like, dude, I'm so full of cum. Like, I need to come right now. You got to jerk me off. So I said that in a text, and then I was like, fuck, like this is on record now. Like this is forever. This is written on the internet. I think it was in an Instagram DM because he sent me a meme, and then I sent back like, dude, I just need to come real bad. Like, just jerk me off.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
And then he took a screenshot of it and sent it to me, and I was like, oh, thanks. Same thing there. So no,
It's on
what
the
actually
record.
happened? What actually happened again?
Well, I'm working at this
Remind
pizza
the-
place
yeah.
locally over the summer for a summer job, and partially on both parts, right? Me misunderstanding the protocols and whatnot. Just a workplace accident where I got my finger jammed in this industrial cheese grater,
Yeah.
and it got gypped.
I don't know if gypped is the right term. I would say it's incorrect. That definitely not the right term to say. It got fucked.
What is gypped?
Gypped is like when you get ripped off, except it's like not
That
a cool
makes
term
sense.
because
I
it's like
agree.
referring
I
to
agree.
gypsies.
I was
But
wrong.
yeah.
Yes. Fucked. Yes, fucked.
It got fucked. So you tore it down to your bone. You fucked up the
Yeah.
bone in it. It was wild. He looked like a
Metal as
robot for a
fuck.
while.
Metal as fuck.
Yeah, because they had to put like medical grade tinfoil or whatever they
Yeah,
call it
yeah.
into his finger because the fingernail was
Like in
just
place
gone.
of the nail, they
Yeah.
used a tinfoil like thing, so it was like half like Rowan, like machinery looking.
Yeah.
He was dope.
It looked cool. It looked really cool. We'll post a picture on it on Twitter at SadBoyCrying. Or no, at what is it? EPS_pod now on Twitter.
Yeah.
So because of this, he got Workman's Comp. And he's been going to physical therapy for months and months and months now.
Yeah.
Like 6 months, 8 months?
Yeah. Well, yeah, since the summer.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And at the end of this, he's going to get paid for the time he missed working.
Yeah, when they close the case, I'll be compensated probably.
Yeah. So we were kind of talking about the numbers, just kind of like offhandedly. We were like, well, how much are you going to make? I'm not going to say exactly how much, but I worked a full-time job where I worked from 6:30 a.m. and then usually until like 7:30 at the earliest, 7:30 at night, 9 at the latest. And I made probably just as much as he's going to make for like what, a month's worth of work, and then
Yeah, that's
shoving
not
your
a-
hand in a
That's
cheese
not a
grater.
crazy prediction to what you entirely me. So just to the stories, I totally recommend faking it. Like
Yeah.
definitely fake an injury, dude. It's so worth it, right?
No.
Like, you could totally lie. No one will know. It's like fuck the insurance companies. I just want to make sure this is on record, by the way, too. Like when we go in. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't hear it, but no, fucking yeah, man. It's
You were explaining to me, this is a joke all the way, like he's not being serious.
yes,
insurance
thank you,
companies,
please. I don't want to fucking have this edit. Yeah. But yeah.
But we were actually getting into this conversation. I said, stop, let's talk about this on the podcast because it's actually kind of interesting. You were saying that like it's so much harder to like fake an injury. Like, what were you explaining?
Well,
like, you were
because
explaining
doing this normally, right, with a fucking legit case,
Yeah.
the insurance companies take so many extra measures to insure their thing and try to get you at every single turn to get as much money as they can. And if you fake this, I do not know how the fuck you don't have like a full-time job doing this, because like I've known people too have done this. They'll fucking hurt their back and then you can't
Yeah.
test it at all, so they hurt their back. And I've heard fucking stories that like people start coming to your house, look through your fucking garbage and shit, and see if you're picking up heavy things in your house because they're auditing you and you need to fucking give them money, or they're paying for this physical therapy and you're just riding off of it. Like it goes
It's
so
like Frank
deep.
from Shameless.
Frank from Shameless. Huh?
He's like the dad. He's an awful guy, but he basically hasn't had a job in like 20 years or whatever.
Because he's doing shit like this.
Because he does that. He like
Just
fakes
living off the
workman's
land.
comp. Yeah, he gets workman's comp for like getting injured at work.
Yeah, man. Like it's so fucking hard to do that. Like,
Well, it's hard in general, like just going through it like as someone who has a legitimate case.
yeah,
right?
man. Like
Because
they
you have
fucking-
to go to physical therapy every week for a finger. Literally a finger. I'm
yeah,
talking
a
about
finger
one
tip,
finger.
not even a whole ass finger with 3 knuckles. It's like 1 knuckle. That
He has
I'm
to go-
fucking going.
If he misses, it's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
it's a huge deal.
It's fucked
like
up.
thousands of dollars big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's fucking crazy.
it is like that is a hustle.
Well, because even in this case, I won't give too many details of the scenario, but in my case, and I've heard in
That
normal
picked
cases,
up on the mic. Sorry, continue.
in my case and in other people's cases, they take so long to ensure that you're doing the thing that you're doing
Yeah.
that it's so beyond like normal trust in a person, because they'll have actual medical records and attention that you got hurt, but then like if you mess up just a tiny fucking bit, like you miss like one thing and forget, then they have every gun aimed at you at that moment
Yeah.
to fucking mess up and will take advantage of it. It's insane, dude.
That's
insane.
weird. Do you think it's like a
It's their job too.
But do you think that's like the same? Because you hear about like the whole medical industry and like pharmacopoeia and stuff like that in the U.S. and how fucked up the healthcare system is.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like that in other countries too, or do you think they just like if you get hurt at work, you get Workman's Comp, like you just get it right away?
I don't see why it wouldn't. They have, if they're private, then I see them having every.
Do you think it's like an American
so
thing
good.
though, like the way they do it here, the way that you're going through it? Do you think that's the same thing? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's good? Like what?
I can't tell the role. I mean, the only thing that I see is, like I said, that as long as they're private and can do what they want, like in America, that would make sense. But in any other country, I think that's the only element that I know that would change what I'm informed by. But yeah, totally. Like, it's definitely here. We also get that shitty part of it where they're really on your ass and don't make healthcare easy.
So the recommendation from us at EPS is definitely fuck yourself up at work and get that Workman's Comp. Kids, I know that you listen to the show. I've told you many things before. Tommy's not here this week to like interrupt me and say that this is a bad idea. If you work a physical labor job, if you work where you do literally anything physical, that's not even you know what? Fuck it. If you're in an office job, fall out the window because the chair was faulty.
Oh, wet floor signs and hurting your back is probably my suggestion.
Hurt yourself at work and get that Workman's Comp. You heard it here. Extraordinary Podcast Spectacular, approved. No one can say that I'm wrong. Also, while you're at it, smoke a pack of cigs because it is awesome.
I think that's a good fucking outro, Eddie.
All right, let's end it here then. We're not going to do fan mail this week because Tommy's not here and he usually has shit to say. So we love you guys. Definitely give us a review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show on. It's super easy. Just fucking scroll down, subscribe to the show, and then give us a 5-star review. Rate something. Let other people know. Share the show with your friends, share it with your family, share it with whoever you want. I don't give a fuck. Just keep listening. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. I'm a professional podcaster. I make money off of podcasting now, so I can say I'm a professional podcaster. So I don't give a fuck what you do with your life.
I don't care. I'm a producer. I'm neutral. He makes me do whatever he wants.
Bobby's also a professional producer now, so
Yeah,
congratulations. Throw in the applause. The follow us on Twitter for updates, shit like that, at EPS_pod. And please send us in fan mail, whatever you want to say, literally anything. If you want advice from us, if you just want to say anything, go ahead and send us in an email with what you want to say, a video, whatever content, something you want us to talk about on the show, to sadboycrying@hotmail.com, at gmail.com. That's on our Twitter. At the very top, we have it pinned. If you can't remember, sadboycrying@hotmail.com, at gmail.com. We love you guys so much. Tommy might be back next week. He probably will. Thanks, Bobby, for being here. Thanks for filling in. I appreciate it.
I actually kind of like this one more than a lot of the other ones we've done.
Because you're on it, yeah. You have to listen to my voice.
Oh, yeah.
You have to listen
I meant
to my
like of
voice.
the ones I like. Not like, this is better than like generally.
Yeah, fuck you, Tommy, you piece of shit.
No, dude. Like it's different.
All right, don't get your head too big, though, because my name's still in the title and yours is technically not.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay.
All right, bye, guys. Love you.
Oh.
That picked up on the mic.